we can make our dreams come true, at least in our designs, and that is exactly what we are going to do today. Hello all beautiful people, welcome back to yet another design video from Dexplorion. I'm your host Didi, and if you don't know me, I am a graphic designer and Photoshop enthusiast, and here on this channel we design in Photoshop and try to create something artistic, and along the way we discuss various tools, techniques and tips and tricks which can improve your workflow and level up your graphic design game. The soft glow effect is a popular visual technique in graphic designing and photo editing which adds a gentle luminous halo or diffuse light around the subject or the highlights of the image. Instead of harsh light and sharp edges, the glow is smooth, dreamy and atmospheric, making the design looks more cinematic, emotional and aesthetic. It is widely used in posters, portraits, cinematic edits, fashion visuals and social media graphics. The soft glow effect simulates the way light scatters through dust, mist, glass or camera lenses and dramatically affects the tone of the design. Okay, enough of this prelude. I think you got my point, and now let's go to the screen and do the actual work. Get our canvas ready and bring on the image we are going to use today. And if you're wondering why I have chosen this image, let me tell you, it's not random. One of the most important things I look for in a design is cohesiveness. Let me explain a little so that you can understand what I am trying to say. Cohesiveness in a design means all the elements of the design works as one unified visual system. Nothing feels random or out of the place. Every color, font, shape, textures and elements supports the same mood, message and style. In simple terms, cohesiveness is what makes a design feels more complete, balanced and intentional. So why cohesiveness is important? First, it creates visual harmony. The design feels pleasant and organized. Second, it improves communication. The viewers understand the message quickly. Third, it strengthens the concept. The idea behind the design becomes clearer. And lastly, it looks professional. Cohesive designs feels more polished and well thought out. So next time before starting a project, keep that in mind and you will definitely see the difference in the results. And now getting back to our project, to create the effect, the first thing we have to do is go to the channels panel here and click on the individual red, green and blue channels to find out in which one the highlights of the image is covered in a better way. Seems to me as if it's the red channel. To get a clear picture, we'll hold the controller command key and click on the icon of the channels to make the selection. Similarly, we're gonna do the same with the other channels. The red channel is appropriate, I think, because the other two channels are including some of the mid-tone areas also, and I don't want that. Now keeping the selection active, we will click on the layers panel, click on the layer itself and then press Ctrl or Command J to make a duplicate layer with the selected area. To proceed further, we have to convert this layer into a smart object. And now we go to filter menu, then blur and click on Gaussian Blur. You can set the blur radius according to your preference and the look you want. I will be keeping it at around 20. And when you are done, hit the OK button. And now we're gonna change the blend mode of this layer to screen. This is before and this is after. We're gonna make another copy of this layer by pressing Ctrl or Command J and this time change the blend mode to lighten. Together they added a soft dreamy glow. We're gonna select both these layers and press Ctrl or Command G to group them together and rename the group as soft glow. We're gonna take the blending a little further, and for that we will double click here on the blank space of the soft glow group to open the layer style dialog box and go to the blend if section here and hold the Alt or Option key and click on the slider here to split it and take the left half towards the left to make the blending even more smooth and gradual. This will also help us retain the skin tone of our subject in the image. I'm done here. Here, if you notice, we have added the blur to the highlight areas only, leaving the rest of the areas intact. We have to add a little bit of blur to the rest of the areas, and for that, we'll again make a copy of the original image layer and we'll rename it as overall blur. Go to filter again and apply the Gaussian blur. But this time the radius value will be significantly less than earlier. Let's keep it here and then we again change the blend mode of this layer to lighten. The difference is very subtle but it's there. Let's give it a little more blur. Our effect is done, but our job is not done yet, because in our next step we will be enhancing the effect and make it even more beautiful. But before that, if you think my videos are helping you in realizing your dreams of becoming a graphic designer, then I think I deserve a like from you. But do that only if you find my videos informative and helpful. And if you want to watch more of my contents, then consider subscribing, and do not forget to press that bell icon right next to the subscribe button so that you get notified of all my future videos. Coming back, I'll be bringing down the opacity of the overall blur to make it more subtle. Play with the opacity of the soft glows a little. This is totally subjective. Do it if you feel like, or if you want more blur, it's totally up to you. Okay, now I want to change the overall mood of the poster, and one way of doing it is with color grading. To do that, we will click here and add a color lookup adjustment layer on top of all the other layers, and I'm going to select a LUT which is already present in the Photoshop, and it's the crisp warm look. And suddenly the whole look and feel of the image is completely changed. We can adjust the intensity of the LUT by adjusting the opacity of the adjustment layer. 50% is good for me. And this was before and this is after. Quite dramatic, isn't it? To take this color grading to the next level, we'll add another adjustment layer, and this time it will be selective color. In here, we can play with these sliders to fine-tune the saturation and intensity of the particular color in the image, like I'm doing with the red color here. This is totally subjective and based on the personal preference. No rules applies here, so do your part of experiment. We'll select the next color we want to adjust from this drop down and do the same. I'm done here, and the next part is even more interesting. We'll add a new blank layer at the top, change its blend mode to screen, activate the brush tool and right click anywhere on the canvas to open the brush settings and select the soft round brush. Make sure the foreground color is white. Again, open the layer styles and click on this checkbox transparency shape layer to turn it off. By default it's turned on. We have to turn it off. Make the brush size smaller by pressing the left square bracket key, and we'll just dab. We have to lower the flow to around 10%. And we're gonna just dab, and it will add a glow in that specific area. If the area is larger, you can also paint like this. Cool, isn't it? Do it sparingly on specific highlight areas, otherwise it will look odd. You can see the difference. I'm done with it. This is gonna be our selective glow. If it seems a little too much, we can always adjust the opacity to make it blend smoothly. We are done with our effect, and if we look back, this is what we started with, and now this is what we have got. And now we'll be working with some additional elements and text to give it the form of a poster. We're gonna add another blank layer at the top, and we're gonna fill it with white color. How? Since we have white as our foreground color, we will press Alt or Option plus backspace and it will be done. Then we will be adding a layer mask to it. Take the rectangular marquee tool and draw a rectangle like this, and without leaving the mouse click, we'll hold the spacebar and move the rectangle to the center, and when done, just leave the mouse click. After that, activate the brush tool again, and with foreground color as black, we're gonna paint it to hide the selection behind the mask. Press Ctrl or Command D to deselect. And now we're gonna add the text. For that, take the text tool and click anywhere on the canvas to add the text and type out what you want. Make it bigger. I'm using a font called Noto Serif Display. Serif fonts are really good for main text. They appear formal and bold and instantly grabs the attention of the viewers. I want them in lowercase, and I'm going to place it right here. It has got a lot of style options. Bring down the spacing between the characters. I need one more word with the same style, and for that we'll hold the Alt or Option key and click and drag like this to make a copy of it, and then we double click on the text to edit it. Let's make the fonts little smaller. Now we'll make a selection of the text by holding the Ctrl or Command key and clicking on the icon of the text. Select the layer mask of the layer 2, which is our white layer. Again, take the brush tool and mask out the selected area. Turn off the text layer, and now we have the text as an extension of our image. But the text is not very clear and visually pleasant. We'll take care of that in a moment. Before that, we'll do the same with the second text layer as well. To make the text properly visible, we have to add an effect to it, and for doing that, we'll go to the layer styles of the text layer and click here on stroke. In the advanced blending here, we will bring down the fill opacity all the way down to 0. Go to stroke and change the stroke color, and now it's properly visible. Lower the size of the stroke, and of course you can play with other options here. I'll be keeping it like this and hit OK. I think a drop shadow here will look good. And now we have to have the same effect on this text as well, and to do that quickly we just have to hold the Alt or Option key again and click and drag this effect and drop it onto the text layer, and it will be applied. We just have to bring down the fill opacity here. That's it. I will add few more text. I'm going to add some more lines of text over here. And we are done with the poster for today. Hope you liked it and was able to find out something new. If you think something is missing or could have been done in a better way, or you have any other suggestions, me and my comment box is always open to you all. I'll be back soon with a new effect and a new creation. Till then, if you want to turn your simple image into a rain-soaked moment, you can watch this video.